Day 25 of the junk house. Alright, so last video was showing sheetrock finished and hung. And since then, we got all of it mudded or finished, and then sanded, 3 coats of mud, sanded, and then did a orange peel on the walls and a knockdown on the ceilings. And we finished the orange peel and knockdown last night, and today did a rough sanding on it, and which got any trash that comes out of the hopper when you spray. You can really see the quantity of orange peel finish on a wall that's been painted. It dries a lot slower when there's paint. In fact, this wall over here didn't dry until today. I actually see a few damp spots now, but it had a good semi-gloss type paint on it, so the mud just had to air dry, wasn't able to be absorbed by any moisture. AC registers come out good. Lots and lots of tape and mud around them. Got the windows plastic still. I figure I'd leave them on there because I'll be spraying, priming, and then spraying the ceilings and trim package. So I figure I'll just leave what plastic is up for when we do that. Went and made a trim or supply run today, which is a big project all in own. Got to put a window sill in there, and then I'll put a piece of casing above the window because it's got a little gap there. And that's going to be our window later on. It's a little bifold closet. Picked up the bifolds and all the trim. Hung greatly, was able to hang all the doors today. This door was the only conventional door that we put in, where conventional meaning I was able to just use the pre-hung itself. In fact, I hung this one by myself. A few shims, nailed up, and it was good. The other doors in the house, I had to build jamb extensions for them because the walls were 4 1/4 to 4 1/2 thick, and a typical, 5 1/4, 5 1/2 thick. And a typical wall is 3 1/2 stud plus 1/2 and 1/2 sheetrock, so that puts it at 4 1/2. So unless you special order them, and that's usually not worth it, you just mill it down with a table saw and build your own. Take the casing off and move it to your new jambs. So yeah, the mud come out good. Knockdown looks good. Looks even better once it's painted. A little hall system. Got some casing, got this cased out today. And a piece of trim put up there to make up a big weird gap that was above that beam. More of an aesthetic deal. Once it's caulked, it'll all look one. That's where the kitchen sink will be once it's put all back together. Yeah, there's the wall texture. This is an orange peel / knockdownish. Well, it's what we can do with a hopper, and it's cheap compared to hiring somebody come in here with the big gun and the big machine. We actually looked into buying one of them at one point, but I really don't want to do that much. running around doing mud. And that's what would happen. Because once you got the equipment, that's the hard part. But scraping and prepping is a job. AC closet come out good. I foamed the difference in between the plenum. Got everything sealed up nice and tight. I'm gonna put a louver bifold door on this closet to give full airflow. I was going to put on this side a 2-foot square air return, but there's really not enough volume for this size of a house when we couldn't put returns in this house because of the space we were dealing with. Bathroom turned out good. Lot of skimming, lot of mud. Probably went through a bucket of mud in this room alone. Hindsight at this point, I don't know labor-wise or not, but once that's all painted, it won't look near as bad. Medicine cabinet goes there. You can see the plumbing going down the wall. Did a little bump out there, and I'll put a piece of trim on the top of that, and it'll blend in. The tile's all covered up right now with plastic. But I should have just tore this wall off and re-sheetrocked it. It was so bad. It had failed in so many places, and it was so damaged. Took so much mud. Knocked down the ceiling in here as well. And this whole area here was a mess. It was rotted out complete. I had to reframe it and then build up a mud bead and put the corner molding, sheetrock corner bead on there and build the mud out, and it turned out great. And there's my jam extension. Right there. So one end's milled down to 1/4 inch, the other end is 3/4, and put the casing back on it. And able to make the distance up we needed. Turned out good. Once it's caulked and spackled, you never know. Ceiling turned out good also. In fact, there's my louver bifold there. And some more bifolds for the rest of the house. Had a huge patch there. Remember back in some of the other videos, that whole lintel there above that window had collapsed. Another AC register there with a major amount of repair on the wall. And closet, even sprayed it too with the knockdown. Orange peel. And this used to be the linen closet, which has been blanked over, and once it's painted, we'll never know it was there. This room had paint on it, so you can see all the mud, how much mud is on the wall. Another massive patch there. That whole wall was in bad shape. There was a makeshift closet there we tore down, plus some plumbing issues. And it was a job furring everything out to get it to match, because not everything was 1 inch thick. Some things were 5/8, some things 3/4, and to get the sheetrock to match. Behind them bifolds is the closet. Just got that kind of covered up, hoping to hide some tools that I don't want to have to cart home every day while I'm doing trim out, saws, table saws, stuff like that. Another AC register, turned out good. And I think that's about it. Next video, probably show when I've primed it. Got everything primed. All the baseboard will be in, all the casing, window sills. I got some additional work to do here. I'm gonna have to pull that thing's so rotted. It looks like at some point they had glued down some laminate or Luan in some of these windows. some of the bedroom windows are like that. They just put a thin layer over it. It's fine until it gets wet. But I'm gonna put a new windowsill in this and this one, and then case it out. It's a new window / door casing. And I think it'll come out just fine. And here's the refrigerator wall, also counters, a couple cabinets. And had this deflection area here where it went from thick to thin. Turned out good. Once it's doors cased out, you won't even see them screws or any of them gaps. So. Alright, until then, see you on the next video.